Hello, everyone. Rev Brad here, and you're listening to Soccer Chaplains United's podcast, From the Touchline. Today, I have a special friend joining me all the way from Sweden, Mattias Ottestig. Mattias and I have gotten to know each other a little bit through some mutual friends that work in global sports chaplaincy, and I've enjoyed seeing his passion and heart for professional athletes, especially for footballers who are currently playing in Sweden. Mattias played football in Sweden for some 12 years, and he shares a little bit about his story and journey with us in the podcast today. We even get a chance to play a virtual round of kubb. If you don't know what that is, you'll have to give a listen. So stay tuned. We visit with Mattias right after this.
He's found the space, and he's found the back of the net.
Just a little off foot, thinking he's going to go far post. Not strong enough with his right hand.
Whips that one in. Far post, almost made him ends, and they have. He has the hat-trick, the second in his career, the third of the night, the hat-trick hero.
Talked about you're not going to be able to sustain that kind of pressure.
To the corner, goes towards the near post, and you're the angle, and what a goal! What a goal!
Mattias, welcome to the podcast today.
Oh, thank you, Brad. It's a pleasure to be a guest in your pod.
Yes, this is great. The way that we've been connected through a mutual friend, through global sports chaplaincy, and getting to learn about you, it's been fantastic to get to know a little bit of your story. But I want to hear more of your story, and I want you to share your story with our listeners today. So, Mattias, as we begin today, maybe share a little bit about where you were born, coming and being in Sweden, and where you grew up, and what that kind of looked like for probably most of our audience will be based in the United States, but not everyone will be American or from the U.S. So maybe share with us a little bit about growing up and your home in Sweden.
I grew up in the north of Sweden, in a small city called Örnsköldsvik, or Övik, you say. Probably most famous for the hockey players coming from that city. We have exported a lot of players over to NHL.
Name the best hockey player to come from your town.
The best hockey player, I have to. It's hard. The best one is Peter Forsberg, of course.
Oh yeah, and yeah. I know Peter well because I live in Colorado, so he's been part of our team and helped us win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, true. And then we have the twins, Sedin and Marcus Naslund, and so we are very proud of our hockey players from the city. So that's where I grew up, in that small city. It's a kind of church city at the same time as it's a sport city. Very safe environment, and I'm very thankful for my background from that city. My parents and my sisters are still living there. It's winter climate. It's about what we say 6 or 7 hours north from Stockholm, and it was a safe background. My wife is from Luleå. That's even further north from Örnsköldsvik. So we lived there some years after getting married. But my childhood is from Örnsköldsvik.
Now, Mattias, you're not a professional hockey player, though. You're a professional footballer, or soccer player, as we say sometimes in the U.S. What happened? Why did you not follow in the footsteps, or were you actually playing? You were. I can imagine maybe the story is you were playing against Peter on the ice somewhere in your town, and he knocked you into the side one time, and you just said, "I'm done. I'm not playing." What is the story? Why did you play football and not hockey?
Yeah, I don't actually have any hockey story, any hockey background. I didn't attend any hockey club actually. So I became a football player, and I was a cross country skier. So that was what I was choosing in between cross country skiing and football playing. And when I was about 15 years old, it was clear that I was going to continue with my football playing. I went on to the next the school where I was able to attend the football profile and so on. So I quitted the cross-country skiing, and then I just continued playing football. But I'm in the same age, or about the same age as the twins. So I've been playing football against them, and they were very, very skilled football players as well as hockey players. So they made a real difference when they were in the game.
So tell me, in your opinion, which is more popular in Sweden, hockey or football?
It's a hard question. I don't know what to answer. Hockey or football? In the north of Sweden, it is hockey. And
Sure.
in the south of Sweden, maybe. But maybe we are a hockey country.
Yeah. Well, many of the good exports have been from your country have certainly been in hockey. We can appreciate that here in the U.S.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. I used to say that my favorite team, another name of my city is the Heart of Hockey, but that's not true anymore because we're playing in the second division since a couple of years ago. But we have exported. So I used to say that our first team is playing in NHL and our second team is playing in the Swedish league from my team's perspective. So we have so many good players coming from my city and from Sweden.
but certainly too, there are excellent footballers that Sweden has exported or that play. I don't know. Perhaps it goes without saying, but the most famous one, Zlatan, maybe. Would that be true, or would there be one that you would say, this person might be there as well?
Absolutely true. That's number one, Zlatan. He's the best, and now he's back in the national team again this week, actually. So that's amazing. 39 years old and back in the national team again.
Yes, he is amazing. He played in Colorado, I think, one time. And there's a story, the team that he was playing for, LA Galaxy, had lost here against us. We're a very high altitude city. Yeah. And he was very upset. And I remember he was coming down the hallway, and we have these panels in the ceiling. Maybe you can see in the picture the panel in my own home. But I forget if he threw something, but he destroyed one of these panels. He was so angry. I don't know if he threw his boot up in the air or something, but the panel just got ajar, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's only a panel. It's only a panel." But very passionate, very passionate. I remember one of our younger players had done really well in the game, and he kept going to Zlatan several times, like, "Zlatan, will you exchange with me? Will you exchange the jersey?" And Zlatan finally did in the back room, in the back area. And I think that was a key moment where, the passion of the game that Zlatan exhibited and his tenacity, his ferociousness, like, I think there's still something to him where professional and has a heart for people. So, but yeah, certainly one of the most famous Swedes that has played the game for sure.
Yeah,
powerful story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mattias, what would you say from your playing days, and maybe just share with us a little bit of how it is in Sweden? Here in the U.S., we have several different ways that an athlete, male or female, can ascend to the professional ranks. They can play for a club team. They can play football in a club setting and then maybe become a professional. They can play in our academy systems. So the professional teams usually have an academy team or several teams that they could advance through and maybe earn a contract. And then we also have the ability to go to college or university and still play for a university team and then be scouted or recruited out of or once you've finished your college university days to maybe play professionally as well. So in Sweden, is it similar in that way, or is there a particular path? And what was the path that you took to becoming a professional player?
It's totally different. We don't have the same system as you have with like college teams. That possibility to proceed or go into the professional kind of playing. You play in and through the clubs, and as a young player, you go into probably the first team as a young player, and you take it that way. Or the team has a kind of academy team playing like youth division or something like that.
Okay.
But when you come from a smaller place, smaller city that I am, then you maybe I played my first senior game when I was 15, I think.
Wow.
In a lower division, of course.
Sure.
And then you make sure that you maybe switch. You go to another club that plays in a higher division, or you are scouted, or switch to another club, a better club. Start playing for that. So I was into Division 3 when I was about 18, I think. And then 3 years later, I went to another team that was in the third division in Sweden. So that's the system. You don't go like you have the college system or alternative systems, but in Sweden it looks different.
Sure. So at 15, at 18, were you earning income? Were you earning a wage for your playing, or do they have rules about at what age you can begin earning?
I'm not sure if there are rules for that. I wasn't paid until I was I think I was 20 years old for the first time.
Okay. Okay. What would you say is a highlight from your playing days? Like this was, maybe it was a key match against a rival team, or you scored a fantastic goal. What would you say was your highlight from your playing days?
I would pick out, I think, two moments. Maybe the first memory is from a cup game when we played against Malmö, top team from the Allsvenskan, the first league. When we, I did a great game from my central defender position, and we made a draw 2-2 after 90 minutes, and then we kept it another 30 minutes. So it ended up in penalties when we lost the game. But I remember.
Did you get to take a penalty kick?
I didn't. I'm glad that I. But I did a great performance that game, and it was a great feeling that maybe the first time I felt that I can make it against the better players, and they were really good players we were playing against, and you felt I'm there, kind of.
Yeah.
And I think the second memory is maybe from 2003 when I was 24. We did a great season in the third division that we were playing at the moment, and we won almost every game. I was playing. Yeah, we had a great team, great first 11. That was playing game after game, almost the same 11. Everyone knew what to do, your role. I was playing a central midfielder, running a lot, which was one of my top skills from cross country skiing. I used that skill, and I was playing every minute that season actually, and the season ended up with 2 qualification games, and we went up to the second division.
Wow.
After that games. We scored when it was like 10 minutes left, which made us go up to the second division. So that was a great feeling, a big achievement, a big goal for us.
Mattias, a lot of what I know about promotion and relegation from different teams comes mainly from the English leagues, but moving to the second division, does that mean more income for the club. What are some of the advantages, or what are some of the things that come with being promoted up into a higher league?
This is the same in Sweden, and I think we have a big difference in between the second league and the third league. There's a big line, so it was a big change for the club to go up to the second division, and for the first time we were counted as one of the 30 best teams in Sweden, and so.
Wow.
But, we dropped down we're relegated after 1 year. So
okay.
So there was a season.
How many years did you play then? How many years did you play professionally?
Professional. I was kind of playing semi-professional. I would say I was keeping up my studies. I was studying to become a teacher, and then my last seasons I was even working as a teacher beside my football playing. So I was football player part-time and teacher part-time, I could say. But I was playing in that level for maybe I would say 12 years.
Wow, that's actually a long time in terms of football.
Yeah, it was 6 years in the first club in my hometown, and then it was another 6 years in Boden, another club up in the north of Sweden where Maria comes from.
Very nice. And you said that you played both central midfielder, central defender, and you shared like one of your attributes was your ability to just run and run. What other attributes? I mean, people are listening, maybe not seeing you. So, did you have, when I think of central defenders, especially, I think of some of them have abilities in the air to head the ball or to mark an opponent really well. Maybe their height is an advantage, or they have other advantages. What were some of the other advantages you had as a footballer that you utilized either as the defender or in the midfield position?
Yeah, first of all, I would say I was a central midfielder most of the seasons. But some of the seasons I started to play as a central defender, I think for the first time when I was like 20 years or 22, and made a season there when it was needed one season. And I was back as a central midfielder again, and then back to defender. So it was a little bit from season to season. But I think I took my midfielder skills into the defender positions, the skills with the physical skills. A lot of running. I had a good condition from my skiing. I liked to run. I was good at heading.
Okay.
I was able to jump quite high, so I was winning a lot of duels out on the field. Quite physical player. I had a big engagement in the game. Was able to run a lot. And, the mental focus, I think, and the winning style.
Yeah.
Not that many technical skills, but I was doing okay. And I brought the skills back to my defender position and role. I like to have the ball and make some good passes and longer top passes.
So, Mattias, was it a challenge to have the teaching, studying to be the teacher, having the teaching role, and then playing football as well? Did you feel ever that you were divided and you couldn't give yourself fully to one or the other, or was it maybe a sweet balance where both passions were able to sort of be coming out of you? Like, what did that feel like for you as you were going through that time of living and having these dual roles?
I think it was a kind of balance. It was good to have something else to focus on and to be able to do. But when I look in the mirror, I can see that the balance was maybe a little bit too much for making the best out of the football playing. I would sometimes. Besides this, you have the church I was a musician in the church many times, and many engagements, and that was not the best for the football career every day, I think, every week. So when I look back, I can sometimes think that I could have balanced it a little bit better, a little bit more focused on football. But yeah, that was my choice at that moment, and what I thought was the best for my. I was absolutely giving everything for the football and focused on training and so. But maybe I could have balanced it a little bit better.
Sure. How did you know when it was time to end the football side and to move on from football and to retire? How did you go about that transition?
It came quite naturally. I was getting quite tired of playing football in the last years, especially the focus you had to find every weekend. You had game day Saturday or you had game day Sunday, and you had to be very focused in the weekends. And I was. We had a baby in 2009 and a second child in 2010. So the family took more and more time. So the last 2 seasons, I was quite divided in between the family life and the football playing. Actually, I was a kind of player. I'm a little bit more liked the trainings than the games. Sometimes the games they took a lot of effort and mental focus and so for me, and the trainings could be easier to go to. But it was a kind of, I have been playing for many years. I was a little bit tired of playing, and the family took more and more time. So when I quit playing in 2011, it was a kind of quite natural feeling. I had many more engagements: the music, the church, the family, and training wise, I switched to running immediately. So that was my substitute for football.
Nice. Mattias, you've mentioned a couple of times church and playing music and your family as well. So share with us a little bit about, tell us about your family. Tell us about your faith as well. And how did it come to be that you were part of the church? And you talked about your town where you grew up kind of being a church town, but maybe describe that a little bit more for us.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in a Christian family, I would say, with a lot of Christian friends, and it was a kind of quite safe environment. I was a part of the youth group in the church, and it was very, very natural for me to be a part of the church and to go to the services Sundays and so. It's kind of a Christian city, so I had Christian classmates in the school. I had now and then other Christian players in the team and so on, Christian friends. So it was not a big deal for me to combine the church life and the football life. I grew up with three sisters and parents.
Wow.
Now today I'm living with my wife Maria, and we have 4 kids in between 5 and 12 years old.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm very thankful for my background, for my home city, Örnsköldsvik, and the context. I find it very, very natural to be a part of the church and at the same time part of the football.
Was there ever a tension between the football and faith? I know sometimes the church can sometimes look down on sport. The church can sometimes make us feel as though sport shouldn't be part of our lives because it competes too much with God or with observing our faith, maybe religiously by going to church or other things. But did you ever feel that tension yourself, or did you And if not, if you didn't feel that tension, was there any specific ways that you kind of identified or you were able to merge both the faith and the football together so that it didn't maybe have that tension or conflict as much?
Yeah, I haven't met that myself, but of course I've heard the stories, and I met people personally that have had that problem in the past, maybe 10 or 20 years before my career. But for me, I don't know what the keys are. Maybe there has been a blessing from the family all the time. There's been a blessing from the church, from my friends in the church. It's been very natural that I've been playing a lot of football, spending a lot of time in the football club. But at the same time, it was very important for me to prioritize the church time. So if I couldn't attend the Sunday service, it was important for me to attend the Saturday evening service either with my friends, or Friday evening, or anything like that. Okay. I think there was a blessing, a kind of blessing from the football club as well. Not really many problems from the football side. I was at.
Are there football chaplains with Swedish football clubs?
Not so common, actually. If I compare now, when I'm into that the chaplaincy world a lot more, I can see you have UK or US and so on. What the systems are like that, or traditions with chaplains. That's a totally new word for me here in Sweden. I never met a chaplain during my own playing. That's really something I want to give to the Swedish world of football, or Swedish world of sports today. That's something totally new for us.
Well, sign me up. Sign us up. Soccer Chaplains United. We will help you. We want to be part of that possibility as well.
Very thankful for that.
Yeah. And the more Swedish footballers that I meet, and I ask them, have you ever experienced a chaplain? And they say, no, what is this? And most of them are open to, understanding and being supported by a chaplain. So yeah, maybe there's a future place to grow chaplaincy in football in Sweden. So
yeah, it is absolutely. I share that thought. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, it was I was playing football until I think it was when I was like 20 or 21 years old that I, for the first time, started thinking of how can I use my faith in my football context, in the locker room, in the team. How can I use that? And I started to read the Bible with a kind of football glasses, with a football-minded reading. Contextual reading. How can I implement these verses into my own role or function or situation in the football team? So that was a new situation for me. And from 25, I got involved to the ministry, which I'm working in still today. But
Mattias, tell us about that ministry. Tell us about your work with. It's CRIC, right?
CRIC, yeah.
CRIC. Tell us about CRIC and what is CRIC and the work that you do. What specifically? What is the things you're doing?
Yeah, when I was 25, we got in contact with a Norwegian organization that was called CRIC, which means Christian Sports Contact. And 1 year later, we brought the organization, the initiative into Sweden, and started the same organization in Norway. They started in 81, actually, and we started 2005. And I was very passionate immediately. I felt here we have something that I've been missing during my own playing. I want to give this to youth in Sweden. So I was one of the founders in the organization, and was in the board from the start. And then 3 years later, 2008, I was able to quit my work as a teacher and step into the role as a leader for CRIC, and there I am still. What
are some of the extensions of work that CRIC does to to integrate sport and youth, and tell us a little bit more. I mean, do you use camps, or what kind of, do you have a curriculum that you lead people through, or what does the ministry look like?
We are a youth organization, and we work with a lot of local groups. We start local groups that are doing sport and sharing faith together in different cities, small places, big cities in Sweden. So we have approximately 150 groups all over Sweden. Those groups is just for leisure playing. No one is playing in a league or professional in any way. Just gathering people together, youth people or young adult people, sure, doing different sports. It can be running, it can be football, it can be volleyball, floorball, anything. So, and in the midst of the gathering, they have a word together for like 5 or 10 minutes. And besides that, we're doing a lot of camps as well. So that's important for us too. And then in the latest, we have started to look more and more on how can we be relevant, how can we work into the elite level, meet the Swedish sport federations with the gospel. So chaplaincy work, it was so we have a top elite network that we are running today, and we are doing some Bible groups for top athletes and so that's and that's on my table. That's one of my tasks. I'm very into that right now. I'm very happy to be a part of that.
Wow, that's exciting. That's really exciting. Well, Mattias, there's a few things that I don't think you know about me, and I thought that we would do a little game here and just take a little bit of a break from the interview. But a few years ago, I came across this Swedish game that I've really come to love, and I tell myself that I am training to be part of the U.S. national team for the game of kubb. So I don't know if you know this game, this Swedish lawn game, kubb, but I've played it a couple times. We played about 2 years ago. I played against a couple Swedish players that were with the team that I work with, Colorado Rapids. And we beat the Swedes at this game. So,
yeah, you mean the garden?
Yes, the lawn game, the garden game. Now, am I pronouncing it correctly? Kubb?
Oh, you are. I hardly understand what you're saying. You have to say kubb. Kubb. Yeah, that's great.
All right. So, but they were teaching me some of the rules that come from Sweden itself, where Midsummer's Eve game you're playing, and you have to finish the game by throwing. So to describe the game, you have a set of 5 little wooden blocks on each side, and you throw wooden batons to kind of knock these blocks down across this field. Once you do that, you arrange the fallen blocks into a defensive formation, and you're protecting the king. There's a king in the middle of the field, and the team that finishes, gets all the blocks knocked over, gets to take the king down. So with that in mind, I thought that I would play a game of virtual kubb with you, Mattias. And so I've asked you to pick 5 Swedish words, and I have 5 English words. And so now this is my first time trying to put this game together, so I don't know if it'll work. But my idea is this. You've picked 5 Swedish words that you're going to try and teach me in 1 minute. And so I have to, just like we just did with the word kubb, I have to pronounce it correctly in order to knock down the word. And we'll see if I can get through those 5. And then I've got 5 English words that I've tried to pick. I did have to go to Google and say, what are some hard English words for Swedish people to pronounce? So we'll see how this works. What I'll do, our listeners can't see this, but I am going to put up onto the screen a little countdown timer so that so that Mattias can see this countdown timer. And I will let you, Mattias. I'll let you. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start on this?
You can show the way. So you can.
Okay. So what I'll do is I will give you the English word, and then you will try to pronounce it. So I'm not letting you see it visually. You've got to listen to me and try to pronounce it. And once you pronounce it well, I will. So it's a little bit of back and forth. You'll have to do the same thing for me. If I feel that you've not pronounced it in a way that an English person, an American person could understand you, I'll say, nope, here, do it again. I'll just repeat it again, and then you repeat. Once you pass it, I'll go to the next word, okay? So I have 5 words. We have a 1-minute timer. Are you ready, Mattias?
I'm so ready.
Okay, I'm going to read the first word, and then I will start the timer as soon as I'm done. Okay, the first English word is joke.
Joke.
Oh, that was good. I think I'm going to lose this. The second word, juice. Juice. Say it again. Juice. Oh man, I should have picked some harder words. Soccer.
Soccer.
Okay, here's the one I hope it's got to stump you. Village.
Village.
Okay, last word, baseball.
Baseball.
Oh, and there you go. 23 seconds still left on the clock. Brilliant. I don't think I'm going to do as well with my 5. I think you're winning this virtual kubb match.
Oh.
Okay, so I will. Unfortunately, I'm controlling the timer, but I will start it after the first Swedish word, and you just feel free. Hopefully there's some words in there that are easy to pronounce. But yeah, you tell me when you're ready, and then I will. And give me the first word, and then I'll go.
Some typical Swedish words. I'm so
Now to put a little caveat here, just give me grace because I grew up watching the Swedish Chef on the Muppets. I don't know if you know about this this character in America, and so I have many memories of him making food and making these noises that they said this is the Swedish Chef. So hopefully I can do better than he does.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The first word. Krick.
Creek.
That's krick.
Creek.
Yeah, that's good. The second word. Mål.
Mole.
Yeah, that's okay. Allsvenskan.
Allsvenskan.
Bra. Köttbullar. It's meatballs. Köttbullar.
Köttbrunsten. No, I didn't say that right. What is it? Say it again.
Köttbullar.
Köttbrunla.
That's okay. And the last word. Fotboll.
Football.
Oh, good.
Football. All right. 5 seconds. So you won the match. You're the first virtual kubb winner, and I will. But I can't wait to the day our families can meet, and I will. If you don't have a kubb set, I will bring one over from the U.S. and we will play a match in your garden.
That's great garden, great.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, Mattias, thanks so much for just like being part of the podcast today, and with the Allsvenskan, right? Did I say that correct?
Well, it was perfect.
The Swedish Football League is beginning sort of the regular season next week, and that's part of why I wanted to have you on the podcast today. And I just want to ask if you would close our time today in a bilingual prayer. And would you mind praying in Swedish and in English for us? And maybe be praying a blessing over the athletes that are going to be playing in the upcoming weeks. I know many of the teams have already started playing their cup matches already, but if you could just pray a blessing over the footballers that are playing in the men's and women's leagues in both Swedish and English, that would be a great blessing for me and for our listeners today.
Yeah, I would love to. And I will. I can just add that I will meet some of them tonight in the Bible group as well. So, which
Fantastic.
we try to have every other Wednesday. So it's a blessing to have that group, and we are praying for that group, and we see it grow.
Yeah.
We started last summer. So
yeah. Well, any way that we can help, I know you and I have collaborated already on sometimes American players that come to play in Sweden, or just players, athletes that we may know that have found a new contract with a team in Sweden, and connecting them to you and to your ministry is important until we get the chaplaincy around the football clubs developed to be connected so that they have resources for living out their faith is very important. So it's been great to meet, and I know we will do this again, so we'll have to pick some harder English and Swedish words for our next virtual kubb match, but we will do that. So, but Mattias, will you close us with a prayer today in both Swedish and English for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I start in Swedish, and if I get feeling, then we switch to English.
Fantastic.
Ja, Jesus, vi tackar dig för att vi har haft det här samtalet här nu idag. Tackar dig för fantastiska möjligheten att få stå i den här tjänsten som vi står, att få möta upp idrotten och få möta upp fotbollsspelare, Herre, med ditt ord. Herre, tack för att vi får möta de här spelarna nu som är på väg att starta igång sina säsonger efter en lång försäsong nu, Herre. Och utifrån den situation som är just nu med covid också, så ber vi lite särskilt, Herre, nu när det ska rulla igång här nu framöver. Tackar dig, Herre, för bibelgruppen som vi får ha möjlighet att ha. Så där vi möts nu ikväll också. Vi ber för deltagare där, vi ber för lagen, vi ber för lagkamrater, klubbar, alla som är involverade nu i säsongsuppstarten här framöver och de veckor som följer där. Herre, vi ber att vi ska få vara utåtriktade. Herre, vi ber att vi ska få nå ut med evangelium, nå ut med ditt ord, ut i svensk idrott och ut i svensk fotbollsspelande, Herre, bland fotbollsspelare och klubbar. Och vi ber dig, Herre, om din välsignelse över Allsvenskan, över de svenska ligorna, över de spelare som vi är i kontakt med, Herre, och vi ber om en välsignad säsong som ligger nu här framöver, Herre, och vi ber att vi ska få vara precis rätt och vara värdefulla med det vi gör från vårt håll också för de här sammanhangen. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mattias. Appreciate you being on the podcast today. And everybody, you've been listening to Rev Brad and
Mattias Ottestig,
coming to you from the Touchline.